Good morning. Today we are going to learn a very interesting pattern which is based on Pascal triangle. Okay, so before moving ahead with how to write a program, first I'll explain you the concept of a Pascal triangle. Now here you can see this what you can see over here is a Pascal triangle. Okay, where if you observe the outer wall is nothing but ones, okay, and the inner walls there are few numbers. Okay, so how do you get these numbers? First I'll explain you that. Now consider this is nothing but my columns and this is my row. So I'm starting my row with 0 and I'm having till 5. So these are 6 rows. Okay, and these are 10 columns. Okay, now we have to start with 1. A Pascal triangle always starts with 1. Okay, so I am placing the 1 with 4 spaces over here. Okay, so I'm having 1, then it goes diagonally. So here you have again a 1, a space and a 1. Then the next row again you are having a 1, then a number and then a space and then 1. Now how am I getting this number? So if you see in this triangle, if I add the upper rows for numbers, I get the number on the next row. That is your 1 plus 1, I am getting the output as 2. Okay, similarly if you see the third row, this row, your 2 plus 1 I am getting 3, again 2 plus 1 I am getting 3, and 1 is there. So in Pascal triangle one thing is that it starts with 1 and it ends with 1, and the middle number comes with nothing but the addition of the upper two row numbers. So 2 and 1 goes 3, again 2 and 1 goes 3, a space and a 1. Here 3 and 1 is 4, 3 and 3 6, 3 and 1 4, and again a 1. Okay, so if it is like the fifth row, then it will be what? The output will be 4 and 1 5, 6 and 4 10, again 6 and 4 10, 4 and 1 5, and then again a 1. So here it will be considering this is the first one, this is supposing this is a 1, so it is 1 5 10 10 5 1. So this will keep on continuing. So the outer walls are, as we are having 1, so one thing we know that it has to start with 1. Okay, so that you keep in mind. Okay, now let's see how we are going to implement this logic. Okay, I'll just delete this. So we will work till the first 5 rows only. Okay, now I am using the formula for NCR. Okay, now NCR, the formula is n factorial upon r factorial into n minus r factorial. Okay, so I'll write this formula, NCR formula, over here for every row. Now how am I doing this? Okay, here n is nothing but the row and r is nothing but the value, or not the value, you can say the element number. Okay, so here this is 0. Okay, so this is 0 C0, so row is 0 and the element is the first element, that is I'm starting from the 0th element. Okay, so it is NC0, that is 0C0. Now the next one is 1C0. So n over here is what? 1, as this is the first row. 1 is the first element, so it is the 0th element. Next, first row, this is the first element, so this is 1C1. Okay, so similarly you can see it is 2C0, 2C1, because this is second row now. Second row, 0th element, second row, first element, this is the answer. Second row, second element, this is the answer. Third row, 0th element, the answer is placed here. Third row, first element, answer is placed here. Third row, second element, answer is placed here. Third row, third element, answer is placed here. Now we will see how are we getting these answers. We will actually implement the formula. Okay, so now the first is nothing but 0C0. Now we all know 0, see, 0's factorial, this is actually 0 factorial upon 0 factorial multiplied by 0 factorial. So we all know that 0's factorial is 1, so this is actually 1 by 1, and so the answer we got over here is 1. Okay, similarly 1c0. Okay, so this is nothing but 1c0, so this is what, 1 factorial upon 0th factorial into 1 minus 0 is again 1. So this is nothing but 1 multiplied by 1 multiplied by 1. Okay, so 1 upon 1, so the answer is 1. So we get this answer. Okay, so these are pretty simple. We'll move on to the next. Okay, so 2c0, again we got a 1. Now 2c1, how we get a 2? So we'll just see 2c1. 2c1. So this is what, 2's factorial upon 1's factorial, and this is 2 minus 1, so that is 1's factorial. So this is 2 factorial is 2, 1's factorial is, so this is 2 upon 1. So the output is nothing but 2. Okay, so 2c1 output is 2. Now we will see 2c2. Now what is 2c2? 2 factorial upon 2, sorry, 2 factorial and 2 minus 2 factorial. So 2's factorial is 2, 2's factorial is again 2, 2 minus 2 is 0, that is 0's factorial is what? 1. Okay, so this is what, 2 upon 2, and 2 upon 2 is nothing but answer is 1. So 2c2, we got the answer as 1. So we are implementing the NCR formula to calculate the values over here. Okay, now how are we are actually going to implement it, that I'll show you. Now consider this. Now here we assume that first 0 on the 0th row I am placing 1, on the first row I am placing 1s. Okay, now on the second row, okay, now what am I doing is, see, the second row first element is 1. Now I am multiplying the first element by 2 upon 1. Now how it is happening? 2, this value, from where does this 2 value come? The 2 value comes as this is the second row. Okay, so I am starting it with 2. Okay, and I will start dividing it by 1. Okay, so we will start the denominator always from 1 and the numerator will be the row. Okay, so the row is 2, so it is 2. If the row was 3, then you can see it is 3. If the row is 4, then it will be 4. Okay, and the denominator always starts with 1. Fine. So what we have to do is, we have to place the number, previous number, then multiply it by 2 upon 1. That is 2 ones are 2, 2 upon 1 is nothing but 2. We get the next number, that I got this number. Okay, so I have got this number, this particular number, by multiplying it, the previous number, by 2 into 1. Now how do you get the next number? How I got 1 over here? Okay, so what did I do is, I have decremented the numerator by 1 and incremented the denominator by 1. Okay, so here what it is doing, numerator added by 1, that is a numerator plus plus, and denominator I am doing minus minus. Okay, so the numerator is getting incremented, oops, sorry, the numerator is decremented, I'm so sorry, and the denominator is getting incremented. Okay, so the numerator got decremented, so 2 minus 1 is 1, and the denominator 1 plus 1, 2. So now I am multiplying 2 by these two numbers, so it's 2 upon 2, the output is 1. Okay, so if you observe here 2C2, we had got 2 upon 2. Okay, here also 2C2 formula got applied and I got the output as 1. So what is the key over here is you have to consider a row. Okay, you have to start by the row number. Now consider this row, I am starting with 3 and the denominator is always 1. Okay, so what am I doing here is I am multiplying that by 3 upon 1. Okay, I get that number. Okay, so see, this is here I have placed it 1. This is nothing but this one. This is 3 upon 1. So 3 multiplied by 1 is 3. 3 upon 1 is 3. Okay, and what have we learnt here is the numerator gets decremented. Okay, so 3 becomes 2 and the denominator gets incremented. So 1 becomes 2. So 3 2s are 6. 6 upon 2, the output is 3. So here we get the next number, that is the 3. Now again the the numerator gets decremented. So 2 becomes 1 and the denominator is 2 plus 1, that is 3. So 3 multiplied by 1 is nothing but 3. 3 upon 3, answer is 1. Okay, so in this way we are implementing and we are the logic and we are getting the outputs. Now consider the fourth row. So as it is the fourth row, I am starting with 4, again starting with 1 the denominator. So it is 4 upon 1, that is 4. Okay, now 4 gets decremented and 1 gets incremented. So 4 3s are 12. 12 upon 2 is 6, which is the next number. Then 3 gets decremented, 2 gets incremented. So 6 2s are 12. 12 upon 3 is 4. Okay, so 2 gets decremented and 3 gets incremented. So 4 multiplied by 4 is 4. 4 upon 4 is 1. Okay, so in this way we are getting the output. Okay, so now we will see how actually we are going to implement this logic in our program. Now before we start the program, if you observe, this pattern is similarly to the star pattern. Okay, so if I just quickly remove this, the star pattern which we had discussed previously. Okay, so this is nothing but like a star pattern, the output. So for printing, you can see this is all star pattern. So this is a star pattern. So now for printing, we are going to use the same logic which we had used to print this star. Okay, that we had 3 loops over there. One loop is to keep a count of number of rows. One loop we had kept a count of number of spaces we want to print, and the other loop was the actual star. So here also we are going to use the 3 loops. Now first I'll just quickly revise with the star pattern. Okay, so here see, n was nothing but the number of rows. So here n was 5. Okay, so this was n was 5 and this is n minus, that is, sorry, here I'll put n only. Okay, so this is j is equal to 5 minus 1, that is 4, and 4 is greater than 1, so it comes inside, it prints a space. So what it was doing, it was printing the first space. Okay, then it was printing the second, third, fourth, till all the spaces are printed. This particular loop was going. Okay, and then in the inner loop we had applied the logic of printing the star. So for Pascal triangle also we are going to use the same logic for printing the spaces. Okay, not printing the inner thing. Just now what I explained, that logic we have to use. So but the spaces we are going to print it with the help of this logic only. Okay, so now we will see the Pascal triangle program. Okay, fine. So here I have there is a Pascal triangle method and it is passing, I am passing a value which tells that how many number of rows you want. Okay, so here the number of rows mentioned is 7. So I'll have a Pascal triangle. I want to print a Pascal triangle for 7 rows. Okay. Now these are certain variables which have been declared over here, which will be used in the programs. The first variable is row. Now row is nothing but a variable which will keep a count of number of rows. Number of rows. Okay. So row equal to starting with 0 and less than n, because here you can see our row was starting from 0. Okay. So this is our row. Okay, so it is starting with 0 and less than n. Okay, now so this is the row. Now the next is nothing but as I told you, we have to print the spaces. So for printing the spaces is nothing but j equal to n minus row, that is whatever is the value of n. N's value over here was 7, so 7 minus 0, so j is equal to 7, j greater than 1, j minus minus. So it will print spaces when j is 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. When j becomes 1, 1 is not greater than 1. So it will come out of this loop. Okay. So this is nothing but it is printing the spaces. Okay. This is printing the spaces. So till here it is cool, like it is the same way what we had done till now. Now you have to pay attention now how actually I am printing the values. Now we know that every row starts with 1. Okay, so I have used a variable in which I have put the value as 1. Okay, so here every row is starting with 1. Now I know that the numerator is nothing but, as we explained here, the numerator NCR. Okay, the numerator over here is nothing but the row. Where did it go? For example, 2C0. Okay, 2C1. So here the numerator is nothing but the row number. Okay, and the denominator is always 1. Okay, so we are starting with, as I told you, the numerator over here is starting with the row and the denominator is fixed. It always starts with 1. Here see, the numerator is 3 and denominator is 1. The numerator over here will be 4 and denominator is 1. So the logic which I have applied here is the numerator is nothing but the row. Okay, so whichever row it is, that value will get assigned to numerator and the denominator always starts with 1. Okay, now actually I have to print the values. So here I have declared a variable value. Okay, now the value is 0 and value is less than equal to row. Okay, that is I am printing the first row, that is the 0th row. Okay, I am printing the value of num value is what? 1. Okay, now what am I doing here? What was the logic used over there? That is, you are going to multiply the numerator by the previous number. Okay, and divide it with the denominator, that number. Okay, so see, I'll just explain this over here. Consider this row. Consider this row. Okay, here I'll just put the values. So my numerator num value is 1. Okay, my num value is 1. Okay, now num is equal to num into numerator. Numerator's value is what? The row. Okay, so what is the row? In this, the row number is 2. So the num value is nothing but 2. Okay, and what am I doing here? Num is equal to num divided by denominator. So what is the new value of num? Num equal to num, that is 2, divided by denominator. We started denominator by 1, so it is 2 upon 1. So I got this formula 2 upon 1. Sorry. So we got this 2 upon 1. So num is 2 upon 1. So num will be what? So num is 2 upon 1. So num is value 2. Okay. So now in this, and I am the same logic. Numerator you have to decrement and denominator you have to increment. So here the numerator is getting decremented by 1 and denominator is also getting incremented by 1. Okay. So we are this will keep on going for every row. Okay. So for the first row, value is 0, value 0 is less than, row is again 0, and then you come in this, then value becomes 1. So 1 is not less than 0, then you come back, you come out. Okay, then row gets incremented by 1. So new row is now 1. So now we are talking about this row. Okay, this row we are talking about. Okay, so it will print the spaces. This will print nothing but the spaces. Again we are starting the number by 1. Okay, and again now the numerator's new value is what? The row number. Row number, what it is? 1. Okay, so now we are talking about the second row. Okay, and denominator, as we know, it's starting always with 1. So first time when you come, the 1 will get printed, and then whatever logic we had used, this logic will get implemented, and then the new values will be coming. Okay, so this way we are implementing the Pascal triangle. So we'll just quickly execute this program and see the output. Here you can see 1, the space is also taken care. Okay, here with, when I am printing number, I am printing a space before it. So here you can see here 4 spaces, then the next number it is getting printed with a space. So 213, 213, 3 and 1 4, 3 plus 3 6. So we are getting, so if I increment this by, say, change it by 6, then we will be able to see the fifth row also. Okay, you can see the fifth row also has come as per our logic. So I hope you understood this logic. If you have any doubts, you can get back to me. I can have a one-to-one session with you and explain you, but I recommend that you first understand the logic and try to solve this triangle on your own, like how I explained here. Like this, you try to put the values and try to solve it. First you try to get this thing, then you move ahead and try to understand this thing. Okay, whatever I'm trying to tell you, and then we have just implemented it in the program. Okay, and then try this program. You please type this program on your own and execute it, and then you can debug this program, or you can see the flow of how the controls are working and all. So still, if you have any doubts, then you can anytime get back to me. Thank you.